Welcome to United Universes, everyone. Today's today's video is going to focus on debating skills, and we're going to discuss a really hot topic which actually popped up very, very recently. And it is about, well, the US intervention in Venezuela. So, as we heard earlier today, we learned that the president of Venezuela, Mr. Maduro, he was arrested, he was captured, to be more specific, by the US military forces. So, in today's section of our video, in today's topic of our video, we are going to debate the pros and cons of that specific intervention. This video is not to present any political thoughts or any political views whatsoever. It is not made to represent any kind of political or ideological thought whatsoever. It is made for you to take a look at the facts, to hear different viewpoints, and it is for you then to decide which viewpoint you would like to align with. So this video just represents the options available and many ideas around those options, and that is all. Okay, so we shall start with the pro side, and then we shall challenge the pro side with some against arguments, yeah? So the way we're going to do this, guys, is that for the most part we're going to be based off of the arguments that will be made on the pro side, in order to kind of combat those same arguments on the against side, and provide a different viewpoint at the end of the day. Alright, so let's make a start. So I think that a really important point to make a start has to do with drug trafficking, right? So, and if you think about it, drug trafficking is a major issue nowadays, internationally as well, but definitely Venezuela is a central point when it comes to drug trafficking, especially when it comes to drug trafficking which affects the United States. So, and it seems that President Maduro is at the epicenter of that entire thing, and that not only does he not try to prevent it, but he's a major facilitator when it comes to drug trafficking. Now, you have to consider the consequences of drug abuse and drug use overall, both on a population level and then on the younger generation. So, for example, we see drug abuse all the time, and in fact, we see drug abuse that has skyrocketed nowadays. Especially in the US and in Europe, it's absolutely disastrous. Now this, as you can understand, guys, it has to stop, right? So we cannot sacrifice the future of our nation. We cannot sacrifice our youth. We cannot sacrifice our people. We cannot sacrifice the well-being and the longevity of our people, of our nation, just because Venezuela or some other countries, they want to keep exporting drugs and they want to keep facilitating those criminal actions, and they want to do nothing about it. And it seems that political pressure, it seems that political intervention, it seems that dialogue does not really help. It does not really produce results. So at the end of the day, something has to happen, and we somehow have to safeguard the longevity of our nation. We have to safeguard the security of our nation and of our people. And so, pragmatic measures, objective measures, have to be taken at some point. When all else fails, we still have to do something to do the right thing. And I realize that you might be wondering, okay, how do all these arguments, how do all these thoughts justify capturing the leader of a foreign nation? How do all these justify capturing Maduro? The idea is that he is the guy who is orchestrating a huge number of all this, right? He's the guy. He's like one of the masterminds behind a lot of those criminal activities, a lot of that drug trafficking. And so a person who is involved with gangs and with criminals and with criminal organizations who are structured to do that kind of thing, to move drugs from one place to another, is not a person who is reliable, is not a person who is trustworthy, is not a person who can lead a nation, is not a person who is going to prevent that from happening again and again in the future. So this is going to be now an infinite cycle of drug trafficking, just repeating itself again and again until someone reliable comes in power. And so at some point, people who conduct themselves in a criminal manner, people who associate themselves with criminal organizations, and they find themselves, they put themselves at the epicenter of those organizations, they have to be removed. Otherwise there is no progress. No progress is going to be made.
Thank you very much for your insight, Michael. I'm going to take the against side now. I'm going to argue in favor of the against side. Now, you talked about the issue of international drug trafficking, and you said it is a massive problem, which nobody disagrees with that. And it is a massive issue. However, I'm thinking that it might not be possible to stop drug trafficking just by invading foreign nations, just by invading sovereign foreign nations and capturing their leaders, just because of allegations, just because of accusations of them being involved in, like, drug trafficking or being involved with, like, criminal organizations. I'm just thinking, how is that going to really affect drug trafficking from Venezuela to the US and internationally as well? Because the fact of the matter is, and that is my humble opinion, that drug trafficking is not going to stop if we just get rid of Maduro, if we just, capture and remove Maduro from the picture, or indeed any other kind of foreign leader. I don't think that the issue of drug trafficking is going to stop, because, like, criminal organizations they will keep existing, and criminals they are not going to stop trafficking drugs. They are not going to stop doing criminal activities. And so I don't really see how invading other countries and how creating all that chaos in foreign nations and how capturing foreign leaders is really contributing towards stopping drug trafficking overall. And I'm also thinking that this is also a major representation of power and, like, enforcing the will of big nations, of, like, international superpowers like the US, like China, like Russia. And we have to think, what will other superpowers think? When they see that the US is enforcing its own rules, when they see that the US is doing what it wants, it could be for a good reason, yes, but at the same time, what are they going to think, They will think, oh, we can do the same. We're going to force our will, and we're just going to dress it up in a positive way, in a positive veil. So I'm having second thoughts about this. Moreover, Michael, you said that political dialogue and political pressure many times does not bring the expected results. I'm just wondering, like, is it the case now that every single time that political pressure does not generate the results that we're expecting? Is it the case that we're just going to start invading every single country which does not follow the things that we want them to follow, or every country which does not do the things that we want them to do? It just feels like a way that we are enforcing our will, we are enforcing, like, our ideology, we're enforcing the things that we want to be done to the other countries, to other nations, and if they do not succumb to what we are wanting them to do, we are just going to capture their leader, and we're just going to invade their country, and we're going to violate international law, and we're going to proceed into like creating international chaos, which it's not really the right way to do things, I believe. There is a proper procedure when it comes to those things. There is proper procedure when it comes to pressuring nations, when it comes to pressuring leaders, to follow protocol, to follow like international law, international rules, and so on. So it doesn't really make sense to capture other leaders and force nations into the things we want them to do to be done.
All right, y'all, the final thoughts, as always, there for you to decide. I do hope that you found this video very insightful and as insightful as possible. And I hope that you enjoyed a lot, and I'll catch you in the next one. Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, leave your comments. Tell me your thoughts about those arguments from both sides. Tell me your thoughts about the video. Don't forget to support us on Patreon as well, because it really, really helps the channel. And I'll see you next time. Yeah, thank you very much for your time, guys. Have a very lovely life. And God bless us. God protect us.